It's Wezel here, and thanks for joining me as I continue on my adventures in SnowRunner on hard mode. Today I think it's day 24 of our Taymyr adventure, and it's actually day 99 overall of our SnowRunner adventures. So we're really getting some time under our belt. Today is probably our last day, I hope, of non-logging stuff in Taymyr region. So we've just got 2 contracts to finish off, hub recovery first and second stage in Drowned Lands, plus 1 task called help cable, and there's still a contest, but I'm not sure if I'll do that till the very end. But anyway, let's see how we go. So without babbling on anymore, let's get stuck in. I've loaded up already 4 vehicle spare parts that are needed for the hub recovery second stage. So I've sort of preloaded those. And we're going to take them down to the to where the fuel trailer is at that intersection. Much point putting lights on. Now just cutting through onto the main road. Come down to the fuel trailer. Yes, I'm hopeful we'll have a good day today and knock over a bunch of things. So we're then ready to start with our logging contracts tomorrow. So first up, we're going to detach that trailer. Good. We're then going to come over here. Get ready with this trailer. Lovely. Okie doke. Next thing, we've still got the step and the TUZ to come down from here, so let's start by hooking up this trailer. Very good. Getting down onto the road. We'll just stop there. That other trailer is 100% empty, so we're going to leave that there because I think we should have enough space in these various trailers to see us through. Now, I generally don't like winching behind a fuel trailer, but I see, can't even reach. So we'll try and convoy ourselves down nice and close. I'm quite nervous of this now because the winch point is so far away from the back of the trailer, the little TUZ, so I'm actually going to toot my horn first. No, I'm going to switch to the rear trailer view so I can watch that TUZ doesn't get caught on a tree or a something, because it's going to have a very different line to what the truck is running. Particularly when we go round a right-hand corner. sorry, left-hand corner. Right-hand corner is not too bad because the rear of the trailer actually gets in the way, so it tends to follow a bit better. But a left-hand corner, it's going to cut the corner like mad. See there? Track's a very different track. Now we'll have to see how the poor old step goes coming through this pretty heavy, yucky mud. This is a fair bit of weight for it to pull in both itself and the build trailer and the TUZ. So it could be that we might have to drop the winch and just let the little Scout come on its own. It's doing a pretty good job so far. So once we all get down to the Tayga and the fuel semi-trailer, then we'll be able to offload the fuel out of the fuel semi-trailer into one/all of these trailers as we go. And we're this time, because it's a fuel semi-trailer, it has 3,700 litres capacity, which means in order to give away only 10%, we need to fill it back up to 370 litres. So we can't use our sneaky fuel tanker trick that we used on a normal trailer by filling up the 1,800 litre tanker. That's not really going to help us, because 200 litres is not going to be enough. You look how the TUZ is tracking a totally different line there. That's why I want to keep a very close eye on it, because we've got some telegraph poles and trees and things coming along here, which I don't want to get caught up on. Done well by choosing that left side of the truck, I think. If I'd chosen the right side of the truck, it would have been a bit of a nightmare. I reckon we're probably close enough there. So let's stop that engine. The fuel carrier trailer is actually full. Right. I'm going to start by putting as much as I can into there. Okay, well that was pretty quick. So there's now nothing in the fuel carrier semi-trailer. Okay, it's totally empty. So we're going to bring our little TUZ up. First thing he's going to do is refuel the Tayga. So from the Scout fuel carrier into the Tayga. Tayga is now full. Then from the Tayga we'll take that whole 330 litres and put it into the fuel carrier semi-trailer. We can then take 40 litres out of the small roof rack and put that in, which gives us precisely 370 litres in the fuel carrier. Yay! We can then fill up the Tayga again from the Scout fuel carrier, which doesn't fill it up, but at least gets a bit of it, and we can top up the rest from the fuel carrier trailer that's behind the step. I'm just going slow to make sure I don't mess up and fill up the wrong trailer. So as we sit now, the Tayga is fully filled and the tanker has got exactly 370 litres of fuel in it. So that's a pretty neat way to be. Okay, so we're good there. So we're now going to drop this tanker off to complete the hub recovery first stage. Fight our way through the heavy mud. We know the Tayga can do this. It's done it before with a heavier load than theirs. There we are. Hub recovery, first stage. Complete. Beautiful. Okay, so while we're here, we're then going to go over and do this hub cable thing that I talked about before. So we'll make an effort to do that. We should have enough fuel to go and get the Hummer and then take it to the village. I'm sort of hoping that if we sneak over here closer to the side, we might have slightly better traction. Just watch out for those dips. Just come around this way. This does seem fairly nice and solid ground. I'm just going to have to check on the map because now I'm not sure where my little turn off was. I think it's back there. Yes. I've sort of come a bit too far around, but that was nice solid ground to be working on. And we're heading for that rocky water over there. I just need to pick our way along here a bit carefully. It's a bit steep and scary to go down here, but I think we'll be okay. get inside that turn. Yep, done. Good. Bit of a splashdown, but we got there. We have to go over here to trigger the activity. And that's fine, we'll do that. So I'll fire that one up, get that ready to go. Now I'm just going to turn around. I'm aware that there's lots of big rocks and scariness here, so I'm going to take my time turning around. And there's our little Hummer sitting in the water there. So we'll go and rescue him. Go for a bit of a swim. Really see what we're driving over, so hopefully we'll be okay. It's pretty deep. Okay. Stick nicely to the grassy bits. It's pretty good. I think we've got him now. And then we've got to take this guy back to the village, or to the house, which is in the village, which is just basically following this road. So we've still got plenty of fuel. This will then be the final task for all of Taymyr. That'll just leave us with one contest still outstanding, which is sinking and swimming or something like that, which is honestly pretty much tailor-made for the Tartarine. So we'll bring the Tartarine back specifically for that task or contest at some stage anyway. Now this Hummer has no fuel in it, so I can't salvage the fuel, we'll just deliver it. We've just got the hub recovery second stage to go, which is to deliver those 4 vehicle spare parts that we've left back at the intersection. We have to deliver those to the pretty much where we dropped off the fuel trailer. messed that up. Deliver that Hummer. I'll just check that it has no fuel. No, the Hummer has no fuel. So that's useless. There we go, help cable is now done. Yay. So we'll take that credit. Head back and pick up our semi-trailer, refuel up, before dropping that off to complete the hub recovery second stage, which will finish everything except logging. Oh, and that one task. It's funny, we can fly along these dirt roads in top gear, flat out, but you can't go along the main road because you'll get suspension damage. Bizarre. Now, maybe flat out on these isn't quite as quick as we're going on the main road. It's true. Come back and pick up our favourite sideboard semi-trailer and a bit of fuel. And then drop it off. So now we grab the final non-logging contract, which is to drop off our 4 vehicle spare parts at the unloading point here at the future service hub. So let's do it. through the side fence like we have a couple of other times now. And then drop off our 4 vehicle spare parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all of a sudden you think, oh, a second garage. But it's not really. It's just a service hub. So there we go. Some more money. Happy joy. So that is the end of the non-logging deliveries. So I'm just going to run this trailer straight back. And unsurprisingly perhaps, this is actually where, well, not exactly where we found it, but this is the same place that we found this trailer. And we're going to leave it here because we don't need it anymore. I think I've said this on a couple of the other maps. You can use a sideboard semi-trailer to carry logs around. I don't like to do that. I think that's it's not a cheat, but I think it's a bit of a sneak. I'd rather transport my logs in the a normal and approved method of a log trailer. I sort of feel that if you're putting it in a semi-trailer, it's just a bit cheaty. Definitely makes it a bit easier though, I think. You can fit, I don't know, I think you fit like 3 loads of long logs on a semi-trailer by just plonking them on top of each other, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, whereas obviously when you're carrying logs, you can only carry 1 load at a time on a log trailer. So we're going to queue up the step behind the Tayga now. Whoops. Come on, steady. So that is our sum total of fuel that we have here in this step. I just want to actually, now I'm thinking, I'm not going to move this. I'm not going to do that. Because I think I might want to leave the step here as a bit more of a fuel spot. Perhaps I could do a bit of both. So I've sort of messed up now by having bought it a bit of a way. Pity. What I might do this. Currently, both step and trailer are very full. That's good. What I'm going to do is leave the step here so it can act as a mobile fuels tanker for anyone who's sort of coming past this area. So we'll stop there. We'll get in the little TUZ. There's probably not a lot of point in taking this fuel trailer with me, but I figure there's not much point leaving it here either. It might be useful, but I doubt it. come down here. Oof, fight our way through the mud. And once again, scarily pull up behind the fuel trailer. Oh, I can't reach it. We'll then bring the Tayga back. And the Tayga can take this fuel trailer with it. So that way we'll end up with some fuel at the garage. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to end up with some fuel at the garage. And some fuel there at the intersection. Plus we've got some fuel up at the fuel station. So that should be, hopefully, enough fuel in the right places for the logging contract. Oh. Alright, already was in that fuel, was I? Okay. Very much want to keep an eye on this little TUZ at the back here. TUZ is pretty much finished for this region now. There's nothing we need him for. Unless something bad happens. Leaving him at the garage. Ooh. And we'll need to do those little repairs. I'm going to leave the fuel trailer out here on the main area, so turn off the engine of the winch truck, detach the trailer. And I'm going to just leave this trailer sort of here, so I can hopefully still get around it. Let's reverse it a bit. In fact, why don't I do it properly? Take it into the fuel station and then bring it back out again. So that way then I can have it nicely on the grass and not in everybody's way. Right where that tree is. So that tree is going to be annoying. Get right in the way. If we leave him there, yeah, that looks pretty good. So we've got our Tayga fully filled up. Near enough. I'm going to just pull it up. Its rear wheel's in zone, but otherwise safe. That's pretty good. Okay, then we're going to hop all the way back and get the Azov. No, it's not in Zimnegorsk, it's in Quarry. So we'll get the Azov 7 and we'll bring that back. So this is all about now bringing things back and preparing for the logging contracts. So we've got the Tayga precisely where we want it, and we'll have the Azov 7 coming down as well. We're going to bring this service trailer with us because it's still got some repair points in it. And we'll be able to use this as our final repairs trailer for anything that's a bit damaged. Oh yes, there's a tree stump there, isn't there? Of course there is. Now with the logging contracts, it's going to be a little bit trickier for us here, because unfortunately very few of the Russian trucks that I have are capable of equipping the log loading crane. The Azov 7 can, and the Step can, but that's about it. The Tayga can't equip a log loading crane, and the Dan can't equip a log loading crane. So I'm going to be a little bit, and obviously I've already put the fuel tanker onto the Step, so I guess I could offload all the fuel out of the fuel tanker, switch the fuel tanker off the Step and put it on the Dan. I think, I'm not even sure about that, or maybe on the Tayga, I don't know. Anyway, I think that's going to prove to be a bit difficult, so I am just about resigned to not being able to do manual loading for a lot of my logs, which is a pity, but it is what it is. I will be able to manually load some, because the Azov 7 can do the crane, so I can use that. The Azov 7 can actually do the log loading crane and the long log front end. So it is capable of both loading and carrying long logs, which is pretty cool. However, it is not capable of loading and carrying medium logs. So that is where our real problem is going to come. Because nothing else can do medium logs either. Whoops. Anyway, that is a problem for tomorrow. For today, we are just going to be bringing our trucks back down to the drowned vans and configuring them for the logging, to start logging. Okay, so we'll continue on. We'll pick up that little scout fuel car that's empty. That's at the top of the hill. We'll pick that up on our way past. Take that down. I don't know why, really. But, you know, why leave them lying around when you can have them all in one spot? I don't think I'm going to be using it to put anything in. Come on, Drownlands, let's go. See how we go in the Azov in high. We're just a bit worried about it wrecking its suspension. So here's that trailer that we'll pick up on our way past. Pretty good. Whoa. So I think by the time we finish the fuel, timber logging contracts, we're not going to have a whole lot of fuel left over. I am expecting that we should have enough to fill up the fuel tanker in the step, and there's probably going to be a bit more left over, but it's probably only going to be, you know, hundreds of litres, not thousands of litres. We'll just have to be a bit careful of our fuel use. But we won't have a huge amount of reserve. Unlike in Alaska and Michigan, where we had stacks and stacks. Step. So now the only non-logging thing is that sinking and swimming contest, which we'll do at some stage, as I say, when I bring the TUZ 420 Tartarin down from Zimnigor's garage down here, I think. Someone's left their little TUZ a bit in the way, but it'll be okay. I'll just pull up next to it, give it a bit of a repair. Lovely. And head on into the garage. Just not sure where I'm going to park this guy. First of all, though, we'll repair the Tayga. That's good. Then I've got to work out. I might just try and park it next to the fence. Bring it back this way and then straighten it up. Tayga in the garage, get that out of the way. That's probably not a bad spot for it there, actually, is it? Really? Maybe we just bring around a bit more so we can square up a bit. Actually, yeah, bring it around so we can. Then it should be available. That's better, straight. That's better. That'll do. Right, I'll just leave that guy there. Go back to the TUZ because we're nearly in there with him. Bring the TUZ into the garage. Refuel it up first. Refuel. No, no, no. There. So from the scout fuel trailer back to the... Thank you. Might just pop these fuel trailers, these scout ones, over there out of the way. Because I don't think they're going to be particularly useful. Just in case, you never know. okay. So we're fully repaired. We're almost fully fueled. Steal a teeny bit out of the Azov. Now the TUZ can go into the garage as well. So that's pretty good. Okay. So we've got the Azov sitting outside. We've got the step waiting where it should be. I think we're in a pretty good state. We can hop into the Azov. It's currently unattached, that's good. So we'll move that into the garage. Oh, it wasn't attached. Right, now it's detached. I did already. Right, move to the garage. Thank you. Okie doke. So he's happily in the garage. So now we can set about customizing him for some timber work. And the first thing we're going to want is a log loader crane. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Tayga for my long logs, and I'm going to use the Azov 7 for the medium logs. But it just means that most of the medium logs we're going to have to automatically load. But we can't really help that. So given that we're going to be taking you and the Tayga, we'll just bring you over here out of the way. You can both go down there to the logging station together. Here's the Tayga. So we're going to make this guy do the long logs. And yes, you can see that. So it can't do the log loading crane, and it can't do a medium logs, what do you call it, add-on. So the Tayga is limited that it can only do long logs. But that's okay because we can do some long logs. And while we're here, we will buy the long log back end. No, that's a log trailer. Log carrier rear, that's the one I want. So that can do the long logs. We'll take these two . Take these two down to the logging station. And I might as well just top everyone's engine fuel up. Just to make sure we're happy. Going to set up this guy for doing the loading of the long logs first, so I want it to be nice and squared up. Looks pretty good. Okay. Bring the... In fact, what we might do is turn it around. I'll take him through and bring it back through, because it's a little bit harder to turn around when you've you've got long logs on. Pretty much the end of the day then, so either way I think we'll be pretty good. Just don't want to crash into the Azov 7. And at 7:42 I think that'll do nicely. We'll stop there. I'll switch into the Azov 7, so I'm ready to load some logs. I've got 3 long logs now on the platform ready to load onto the Tayga. So on that note, we'll call it for the day. Pretty good effort. So that's everything. We've done everything, bar sinking and swimming, on all of the Taymyr region. So if I have a quick peek, we've got all the tasks have got a tick, except now east wind up and running, waterlogged and a bigger boat, and test flight. They are the ones that are all the logging contracts. So all the other contracts are done. All the tasks are done. There's where all of our trucks are. All of the contests, sinking and swimming hasn't been done, but everything else has been done with gold or silver, which is pretty good for me. So that's about it. So we are sitting at the moment with all the vehicles found, all the watchtowers unlocked, all the upgrades unlocked, and pretty much everything done except these logging contracts and one contest. So that is what we'll be starting off with tomorrow, the logging ones. We're going to do our long logs first and then do medium logs second, but we'll look at that tomorrow. Hopefully you can join me to that, and we've had another good day. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I hope you can join me tomorrow as I continue on my adventures in SnowRunner. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Bye-bye.